Good morning, Colby. Last night after I finished the last video, it started raining like crazy. By 11, the street had 2.5 feet of standing water in it and slowly drained throughout the day. We got up and discovered that our street was one of the only spots in the entire neighborhood where the water was actually still pooled and draining. The power promptly went out, so we decided to take advantage of the rainless window to explore what had happened overnight on our side of Houston. As soon as we left, we saw the flooding everywhere. That submerged car we saw at the far end of the water was just one of many that we saw today. After the other floods, we often came to this area to observe the turbulent water down by the bayou and the flooded areas. This was also now the bayou. The other parking lot we normally watch the floods from was completely indiscernible from any other swampy area with seemingly erratic signs just placed about the middle. Or at least I think that's where we were. Eventually, we came across one of the major roads that I only know was a road because of the stalled out SUV in the middle. Blocking off the road was a hubcap leaning against a rock, as both a roadblock, but also a warning of what would happen if cars tried to pass. The final spot where we normally watch the water from is the overpass directly above Buffalo Bayou. I took this picture yesterday when we had about 2 inches of rain. By the time we reached it today, it was impossible to get around to where we took the picture without a boat, seeing as the water rose 25 feet in that bayou. It was so backed up in some areas that the water was even flowing out of the drains. The streets were so deserted that we could bike down one of the busiest streets in Houston and not see anyone. Normally, Houston has very bad drivers and generally rude people, but when we came across a dip in the road that had turned into a boat launch, my faith in humanity was somewhat restored. There were dozens of people gathered around some kayaks and a few motorboats. Part of the neighborhood had flooded so bad that the entire first floors of houses were underwater, and these people were rescuing the people inside. I don't want this to sound like some super cliche thing where everyone is a big family and all, but it came close. Colby, people are going to have their lives ruined because of this, and some of that has already happened. At the de facto boat launch, I talked to classmates of mine whose houses were completely flooded. Houston is flooding like it never has before, and that means more and more of us will have damage to some extent. We're all in the same boat, or at least hoping we won't be hauled out of our houses on one. Houston will rebuild. It might take a while, but we're Texans, so I know it'll happen. Colby, I'll see you later.